Welcome back to Retirement Dakota with Scott Tucker. I'm your host, Scott Tucker. Today we're going to talk about tax-free income for life. I came up with the idea for this video. There's a book written by an author, David McKnight, you may or may not be familiar with, and his book is Tax-Free Income for Life. He kind of goes into one way you could do this. There's many ways you could accomplish this, but let's say we have an IRA, 401k, what have you, 403b, deferred comp, 457, TSP, thrift savings plan, SEP Simple Keo, what have you. What a lot of folks are doing now, this is not specific advice, there's a lot of pros and cons to this and things and a lot to go over, so we'll want to talk about it if this is of interest. If you go down in the description, there's a link there for a free phone appointment and a consultation, and we'll talk this through with your numbers and see if it makes sense for you. A lot of folks are finding that they get close to retirement, they have an IRA or 401k and the others, and they're tax deferred, not tax free. They're also finding they have a lot of market risk here. Stocks and bonds, yes, even bonds have risks, so that those target date funds in your 401k, this sort of thing, all securities can lose value, so stocks, bonds, and all that. So what some folks are doing with some of their money, again, not specific advice, and this doesn't fit everybody, but it will fit some people. Some people are taking their IRA or 401k and they're putting a portion of their money in a thing called a fixed index annuity. Now, I'm not telling you to go get one of these. I'm not telling you not to go get one of these. It's going to vary. That thing, like they say, your mileage may vary. So a fixed index annuity, what it can do is put a floor under your money so that if the market falls, you don't lose anything. There's a lot that goes into these, though. There can be surrender periods and charges and different things we want to look out for. So you want to work with an advisor that's going to have your best interest and look out for you there, not just go get any old fixed index annuity. Now, this fixed index annuity, where this maybe had mutual funds, in the 401k you had mutual funds, the fixed index annuity, it doesn't have mutual funds, it doesn't have downside in the stock or bond market. Although, well, this is what, let's say this was, let's simplify this, this was your 401k, this would be IRA, so no taxable event in going from traditional, let's say we went from traditional 401k, because this is what a lot of baby boomers have, is they have money tax deferred. You may have your money tax deferred, not tax free, and at the same time you're in mutual funds and you have downside risk in the stock market. So you might take some of your traditional 401k, you might take it over to an IRA, but it's still traditional IRA, it's still tax deferred. We haven't solved the tax problem. What we did solve in the fixed index annuities, we have no downside risk. We don't have to worry about the account dropping. Then some of these fixed index annuities now, not all companies, but some of the companies, they offer, while this is an IRA, they offer Roth conversion. So you could do a Roth conversion, and Roth conversions have been wildly popular since 2010. If you have an advisor now and they've not talked to you about Roth conversions, we ought to talk. There's a link down in the description, and we can spend time together on the phone. This Roth conversion, now you end up with all your money here. And usually you want to do this over a number of years. Oftentimes we want to do it over, say, 5 years. We Roth convert each year some of the traditional IRA. So we had traditional 401k, stock market risk. We went to a traditional IRA with a stable instrument inside it, a fixed index annuity, where we have no downside if the market crashes. We're protected here. And then we do Roth conversion, and maybe we do it over 5 years. And when we're all done, we have all the money that's left there is in this tax-free account. We've already paid the IRS. In Illinois, where we are, we paid the state of Illinois nothing in these Roth conversions. In your state, it might be a little different. We are federally licensed. We have clients in Wisconsin, Michigan, Florida, Texas, all over the place. So we're accustomed to working with people out of state as well. But now you've got this in a tax-free account. And what some of the fixed index annuities have, now you're over here tax-free. Some of these fixed index annuities, that's what you're in here, fixed index annuity, and it's tax-free. And some of these have guaranteed lifetime income riders. So you could have every month a direct deposit that is tax-free. So there's a couple steps involved here. I guess it could be confusing. We do this all the time, so I didn't think of it as being too confusing to me, but it may be to you. We had a traditional tax-deferred account in your 401k. Maybe you have $400,000. Maybe you have $2 million. I don't know what you have. So you have this tax-deferred money, but you had the market risk. You take it over to traditional IRA, no taxable event. You protect some of it with the fixed index annuity so it can't fall. Then each year, maybe over 5 years, not specific advice, do Roth conversions. We pay federal income tax here, so we pay the IRS rate here before the taxes go any darn higher than they are now. And in Illinois, we pay Illinois nothing under current law. And then now we're over here in tax-free. And we also have the fixed index annuity protects us from market losses. And then we have a guaranteed lifetime income stream that is tax-free. So, and another thing that we talked about in another video that I want to touch on again, if you go into retirement and all of your money is coming tax-free every month from Roth, and then you have Social Security, if those are your only two income sources, Roth and Social Security, you now pay no federal income taxes the rest of your life. So that can be really powerful. In the time we have left in this video, real quick, I want to cover something you may not even be aware of in your state. Some states have a state estate tax. All too often we focus only on the federal estate tax, but some states have a estate tax that has a lower exclusion, meaning they exclude less of the estate from state estate tax. So we're in Illinois. Now we are federally licensed. We help people all across the country. In Illinois, it doesn't matter whether you're one people or two people. So whether you're single or married, it is a $4 million estate tax exclusion. So the state has its estate tax exclusion. So what this means is if you pass away in Illinois, whether you're one person or a couple, once the second of you is gone, if there's two of you, the first $4 million of your estate is excluded from state estate tax in Illinois. But then the state estate tax, it can go as high as 16%. So dollars above $4 million can be taxed as high as 16%. And so many folks just miss that, okay? We're always focused on the federal estate tax. It gets more press because it's nationwide. Now, there are some other states that have some awfully high, awfully onerous, I guess you'd say, estate taxes. So that's Illinois. Our friends who are in Massachusetts, they find that they have an estate tax exclusion of $2 million. And then dollars above that can be taxed as high as 16%. Sounds familiar. Then we have other states where there is no estate tax, like Wisconsin, Michigan, Indiana, Ohio, Missouri, no estate tax. Now some states will have both an estate tax and an inheritance tax, and that's kind of crazy, isn't it? So like with Maryland. Maryland has both an estate tax and an inheritance tax. And in Maryland, on estates, they exclude the first $5 million. And then what happens above that, they tax up to 16%. It seems to be a magic number today. And then the other thing they have is on inheritance. So the estate has a tax, and then on the inheritance tax in Maryland, because they have both, on the inheritance tax, you can pay 0 to 10% on money you inherit. Kind of a double taxation right there in Maryland. They used to have a similar setup like to this in Nebraska, and they changed it. So it's both the estate paying tax and the inheritor paying tax in Maryland. Pretty crazy. So it's never just as simple as saying, well, I only have a federal estate tax to worry about. And these state laws, they change fairly frequently. They just changed in Nebraska recently. So if you want to talk about your state's estate tax and also the federal estate tax, did you know in 2026 the exclusions for the federal estate tax are coming back down when the Trump tax cuts expire at the end of 2025? So I would also say if you are 60, let's just say if you're listening right now and you're 60 and maybe you have $2 million saved for retirement, real good chance that you're going to run into these estate taxes by the time you're gone. It is really easy to turn $2 million into $4 million in a 10-year period, $4 million into $8 million. You could be $8 million at age 80, and your estate could be falling prey to not only state estate taxes, but also federal. So if you'd like to talk about that, we can run your numbers and come up with a plan to mitigate that. Go ahead and look down in the description. There's a link there, and you can schedule a free phone time with us, and we'd be happy to talk to you and see what your numbers are. No charge, no obligation. This has been Retirement Dakota with Scott Tucker. I'm your host, Scott Tucker. We'll see you in the next video.